Hello, and we're approaching evening. I'd like to discuss by mentioning COVID-19 pandemic and how severe this virus has hit our fellow Americans. So far, it has been roughly 6 months since the worldwide announcement of this pandemic, and now approaching 4 months since the United States first reported case back in January 19th of this year. In the month of May, we are now reached over 1 million cases in 60 nations. After just talking about disparities, the case of the pandemic is now a central representation of how disparities in this country drastically affects the lives of these minority communities as well as those who live in the lower class. With high levels of disparity in these communities, such as African American, Hispanic, Native American Indian, and Asian American, are now being heavily targeted by COVID-19. Reports from the New York Times estimated that in the states of Louisiana, about 70% of the deaths out of the 33% of people affected by this virus as a whole are African American, as well as in the state of Alabama, 44% out of the 26% of people affected in the whole state are people involved in these minority communities, and they encounter more disparities. Those who face health disparities because of environmental stability and income are taking this pandemic harder. The risk of these communities being affected by this outbreak are higher, based on the implication of leniency with their jobs, living expenses, educational attainment, and higher risk for illnesses, and etc. To that, as we started this broadcast with mentioning on how and why disparities matter, well, this is exactly why. This is the unfairness that most minority groups struggle with in the socioeconomic standards and the amount of opportunity to achieve an achievement to place themselves out of the situations. This is exactly why there should already be organizations put into place to observe the statistics, and to have a goal in making progress to diminish the term health disparity in itself. This is all the time that we have for today. And to close this broadcast off, the last thing I'd like to say is to wash your hands, stay safe, and thank you again for staying with us tonight. We appreciate your time and your listening. I will see you all on the next one. Thank you, and good night.